Hello there. My name is Karen Batty. If you are watching this video, there's a very good chance that you are a brand new consultant on the team. And if we haven't formally met yet, let me say welcome and congratulations, and we're happy to have you here. So before we get started, I want to ask you something. Have you ever wished you could just be in exactly the right place at exactly the right time? Well, guess what? You are. I've been with Pampered Chef over 20 years, and 3 or 4 of those years have been just blockbuster because maybe at one year the economy was really strong, or maybe another year there was a housing boom or something like that. But I have to tell you that right now there are so many things overlapping that make this time just an amazing, amazing time to be in business. And so, yeah, you are here at the right place at the right time. I mean, think about it. The economy's strong. People are employed. And do you know any 20-somethings or early 30-somethings? Are a lot of them moving out into the world? Yeah, they're finally employed. And this generation that has been just at home waiting to kind of get out from underneath it all, they're moving out in droves. They're getting their own apartments, their own homes, and they all have kitchens to fill. And think about it, cooking is in. I mean, check out the television and the shows you see there. Check out Pinterest, all the recipes that people post. Yeah, cooking is really in. Farm to table is in. So cooking from scratch, right? So people need and want our products. Plus, not too long ago, about a year or so, 2 years ago now maybe, we have a new CEO. It took a little while from the time that she arrived for her ideas to kind of get into full motion. Well, they are. And she is amazing. And this company is like, it's going places right now. One of the things she did was hire Bill Bucklew, who is the head of our product development team. He has won national innovation awards. And he said his goal is not to keep Pampered Chef on trend, but to make Pampered Chef a trend setter. Okay, so all of these things right here, right now, it is a great time to be in business. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't even know what I'm doing, well, welcome to the club. Most of us, when we got started, we don't know what we're doing. But guess what? You're backed by that amazing company, okay? And you've got all the support you need. It's a no worries. And I just want to kind of warn you, in the beginning, you might kind of feel like you're drinking out of a fire hose, but it's okay. Hang in there. After, 4 to 5 parties, you're probably going to feel very differently than you do now. All right. And all I can say is it's a great time, and, hang on for the ride. So now you might be wondering, well, this all sounds great, Karen, but, how do I get started? Right? And I'm just going to do a little screen share here. And I'm going to be talking about some simple steps to help you get off to a strong start. Okay, step number 1 is set a goal for your business. And I encourage you not to set the goal too small. Okay, dream big. If everything worked really, really well, what would you love to have happen with your business? I got a couple of quotes that I love about goal setting. One is this: a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Okay, so I encourage you, pick a goal that excites you. Here's another quote I love. It's from Michelangelo. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too low and we reach it. Now, oftentimes when people are new, they're like, okay, Karen, I would love to set a goal, but I have no idea what to expect from a business like this. Well, okay, then here's a few things to think about when you're considering what goals to set. Number 1, think about, does your goal include earning free products? Because in the first 90 days of your business, in addition to commission, you have the opportunity to earn what we call PC dollars or Pampered Chef dollars. And PC dollars at a Pampered Chef, like what Disney dollars are to Disney. Like I said, you earn these in addition to commission. For every $1,250 in sales that you submit in your first 90 days of business, you will receive 100 Pampered Chef dollars. Now, the national show average is 650. So basically, for every 2 average parties that you submit, in addition to your commission, you're going to receive 100 Pampered Chef dollars. You can use these for paperwork, products, pretty much everything you need to grow your business. Now, in addition to that, for every new team member that you sponsor, you will also receive 100 Pampered Chef dollars. For most people, their first few team members are people they already know. They're friends or coworkers who, you know, you're in touch with them and you're so excited because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did one party and I made this much money and I got this much in free and now I'm, you know, this close to earning additional Pampered Chef dollars plus my sign-on bonus. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is so great. So you're probably going to find that you've got some friends who say, wow, really? Well, maybe I could try this. Would that be okay? Or you reach out to them and say, gosh, you'd be great at this. You should definitely think about it. And then they learn more and decide to join your team. For every person, you know, that signs, that you sponsor who actually sells at least $750 in their career, you're going to get 100 Pampered Chef dollars. And the number of Pampered Chef dollars that you can earn is unlimited. And by the way, as you do your job, you can actually get promotions and raises within your first 30 to 90 days. How many jobs out there can you just start at and right away you can get raises and promotions? You can do that right here, right now. You are the CEO of your little business, okay? And you get to decide exactly what you'd like to have happen. Okay, so think about that. Now, the other thing to consider is how much money would you like to earn? When I was new, I know I needed to make $800 a month pretty much right away, or something was going to be turned off in my house at the end of the month. So that was really clear. I knew I needed to make that money, and then it was just a matter of asking my trainer, hey, how many parties do I need to do to pretty much ensure that I'm going to make $800 a month? Okay, so that was easy for me. It wasn't easy for me. It was clear to me what I needed to do based on my income need. So think about, is there a certain amount of money you'd like to make? And again, don't aim too low. What amount of money would make you thrilled? Okay? So think about that. Some people, they're like, I have no idea. I mean, I'd love free products and I'd love money, but I don't know. I work a full-time job. I have a part-time job. I go to school at night. I get kids. I have no idea how much I can do this business. So some people base their goals based on how much Pampered Chef they can or want to fit in their life. So you might think about how much time you can give this business. So for each in-home cooking show that you do when you're new, it's about a 4 to 5 hour investment of time. Now, you are not going to be in the host house 4 to 5 hours. Please don't. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I had this party and the consultant just wouldn't leave. You might be in the host house 2.5 to 3 hours, and then you have a little bit of behind the scenes work to do. This number will actually decrease once you get through a good 4 to 5 parties and you kind of get through the learning curve and you get really good at entering orders. You can kind of do that in your sleep. Then the amount of hours per party is probably more like about 3 to 4 hours for an in-home show. And then there's virtual parties. Okay, those are basically at this point mostly through Facebook, all online. And that's a little bit less time. You might be looking at a total of about 3 hours. And what's really interesting about the virtual parties is that it's truly little pockets of time. You know, to set up the party it takes 5 to 10 minutes, and to post the link, and then to pop in there each day for 3 to 4 days or however long the party's running, to post, to comment, things like that. So it truly is little pockets of time. that you decide based on what your day is like. So some people might decide, okay, I've got 8 to 10 hours a week to put into this business, so I'm going to do, a couple of live parties a week or a couple of in-home parties a week. Or I'm going to take 2 weeks out of the month when I'm busier at work, and I'm going to do a bunch of virtual parties. And by the way, most people who do virtual parties, they don't just do one at a time. They pick a span of time, a 3 to 4 day span, and they book a bunch of virtual parties. Because basically, it's like tripling a recipe. It doesn't take 3 times as long, but you get 3 times the results. Because you're just going to basically copy and paste the same post to all of your parties. And just as an aside, we, I think, are an amazing team. You guys didn't just sign up with a great company. You guys signed up with what I think is an awesome team. What I have been told by the home office, which is one of the strongest teams in the nation. And we have some directors who do lots of virtual parties. They love doing them, and they have created outlines that they have shared with the entire organization. So if you're thinking, oh, wow, I wonder what should I post to these virtual parties? No wondering at all. You just pick a theme that is already created by our virtual committee, and you just copy and paste. If you can copy and paste, you can do virtual parties. Okay? So you take into consideration all of those things and set your goal. Okay? And like I said, don't set it too low. Okay? Because you know what? Set it a little bit higher. They say, what's that quote? If you shoot for the moon and you miss, you still land among the stars. And by the way, if you could use some cash and you can see yourself doing a minimum of at least 6 parties total per month, that can be 3 virtual parties that all run 1 week or 3 to 4 day span, and like 1 other live party each week, you could be on track to earn up to $2,000 in cash bonuses in the first 6 months of your business. That's in addition to the commission you earn, in addition to the Pampered Chef dollars and whatever sign-on bonus you have. Okay, we call that fast track. So if that pace of shows seems like, yeah, that's totally reasonable, talk to your director about those fast track cash bonuses. Okay, step 1, make your goals. Step 2, if you haven't done so already, pick out a date for your launch or your kickoff party. Ideally, it should be within 10, maybe 14 days of the date that you order your kit. It takes about a week to get your kit, and then most people want it for a couple of days to kind of take it out of the box, take all the products out, kind of try them out a little bit, but don't wait too long, okay? When you start a new business like this, think of it like a plane going down the runway so that you can get takeoff. You don't want to just park the plane on the runway and just sit there. You'll want to start going down that path quickly. Okay, and remember, the first 90 days of your business, you get to earn these Pampered Chef dollars. The sooner you get started, the sooner you start earning those. Now, at your kickoff party, most consultants are wearing 2 hats, double dipping. You are the host earning all the free and discounted products, and you're the consultant earning all the commission. Pretty sweet, right? So schedule that, pick out a date. Know that there is no perfect date that's going to work for all of your friends. If you're lucky, maybe a third of the local people you invite will be able to walk through the door that day, no matter what day it is. So just pick out one that works for you. All right? Now, don't start posting on Facebook and telling everybody about your kickoff date yet, okay? Because there's a method to this. And I'm going to be taking you through step by step how to work your kickoff party so that you get off to an amazing start. People who have followed this plan have gotten off to amazing starts and made over $1,000, sometimes $1,500 in their first 30 days of business. Plus earned lots of Pampered Chef dollars, their sign-on bonus, and all kinds of goodies. Okay? Many of the people who are new on our team have made it into the top 25 in the nation for all new consultants. And we've even had a few people that have hit the #1 spot for all new consultants. Okay. So this is a tried and true system. So don't go rogue on me, throwing out, just picking out your kickoff date and inviting the world. Take it step by step. All right. That's just step 2. Here's step 3. You're going to make what I call your top 20 list. Who are the first top 20 people that come to mind? Just take out a piece of paper and start writing names down. You can even start the list now if you haven't already. You want to think of it like spokes on a tire, going out in different directions. You don't want to just list all family members. Sure, include some family members, but think of coworkers, think of some neighbors, think of some people that you knew, when you were a kid, or people from a past job. Okay. There's also what's called a Frank's list, F-R-A-N-K-S. F stands for friends. List a few friends. R stands for relatives. List a few relatives. A stands for acquaintances. Maybe these are people that you know from your gym or the doctor's office or the dentist's office or whatever. N stands for neighbors. K stands for kids, either people you know through your children, like if they're younger and they're in daycare, people you know through the daycare, or if they're a little bit older and they're in sports or after school activities, people that you know through there, or maybe their friends' parents. Or if you don't have kids, think of people you knew when you were a kid. Maybe people that you went to high school or college with, people that you grew up with. Okay. S stands for spouse or significant other. If you have a spouse or a significant other, think of the people you know through them. Okay. And if you just list a few names in each of these categories, you will have well over 20 names. And I encourage you, don't prejudge the list. Just let the creative juices flow and just list as many people as you can. And once you've got that list, you're going to pick your top 20 off of that list. All right? And then you're going to start with your kidney donors. And you might be thinking, what do you mean kidney donors? Think of 2 people who would do anything for you. If you said to them, I need a favor, they'd be like, what do you need? They'd say yes even before you asked the favor. If you told them that you needed a kidney, they'd be like, where do I go? Do you want my left or my right? Okay. Most people know 2 people like that. Maybe it's a parent, a sibling, a BFF. And what you're going to do is reach out to them and you're going to ask a little favor. This is not a big favor. You're not asking to borrow money. You're not asking for a kidney. You're just asking if they will have some friends over so that you can practice on them. And the real favor is the timing, okay? You want them to book the week following your kickoff party. Now, why is that important? Because you will get bookings from your kickoff party, but most people don't say, yeah, I'll have a party next Thursday. They want to wait a few weeks so that they can get invitation out, get the word out about it. But you don't want to have your kickoff party and then just sit there and not do anything for 2 to 3 more weeks. Because remember, you want to get that plane going down the runway. So you explain to them, I've got my kickoff party. My trainer says I need to have 1 or 2 parties lined up the following week, so that I can really get off to a strong start. So what do you think about having a few friends over that, one day that week? I promise it'll be really fun. We'll pick out a recipe that will excite people, maybe death white chocolate, maybe we'll have some fajitas and margaritas. And you know what? You'll get free and discounted products and I'll get some practice. And you can laugh at all my mistakes. It'll be great fun. What do you think? Okay. So most of the time your kidney donors, unless they're on vacation that week or for whatever reason it's completely out of the question, most of them will say okay to that. And let them know they don't need to have 20 people over their house. You just need practice. And it's okay whether you're practicing in front of a small group of people, a handful of people, or a house full. practice early on is incredibly, incredibly helpful, okay? So start with your kidney donors. So now you've got your top 20, you've talked to your kidney donors, you've got 18 people left. And I encourage you to reach out to them the best way you know to get in touch with them. If it's your mother, call her. She'll be glad to hear from you. If it's friends that you tend to text, I would suggest texting them saying something like, hey, I have exciting news. Do you have a minute to talk? If you are young and female, they're all going to think you're pregnant. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're going to have a baby. You know, who knows? But they'll say, yes, I can, or no, I can't right now, but I'll be home tonight. Okay. And then then when you're talking to them, you can say the words that I've got here. I'm so excited. I've just started my own Pampered Chef business. I'm wondering if you'd be willing to have a few friends over so I can get some practice. I promise it'll be fun. We could make something chocolate and you will get free products for helping me out. What do you think? And notice I have, what do you think on there? Okay, because it's an open-ended question. It's not a yes or a no. Now, if you post this to 18 of your friends, of your top 20 list, how many do you think would say yes? Most people are not correct. I don't know how many you wrote down, but here's the answer. 3. Yep, just 3. But guess what? I told you this is a step-by-step process to help you get off to a super strong start. All you need are about 3 of them to say yes to you, and you are going to be off and running. But now think about it. You've got 15 people that you know pretty well who've just told you no. And most of the time, they don't just say no. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry, no. I'm just like, yeah, I can't do it because, you know, whatever hesitation they have or whatever reason. And here's what, and they feel pretty badly about it. They're feeling a little guilty. So if they say no, here's what I want you to say. That's okay, but hey, there's another way you can help me get my business off the ground. What do you think about hosting a virtual party on Facebook? I'll set up the event for you and you just click to invite your friends. And then I'll post about products, recipe, and time-saving tips, and maybe even a few fun games. And people then can just click and shop right online. How does that sound? Again, how does that sound? It's an open-ended question. So if you said to those 15 people, you know, what do you think about a virtual party? How many do you think would say yes to that? Statistically, about 4. Yep. And what you can say to them if you have your kickoff party coming up, say, great, I'm going to be running my virtual parties in a few weeks. I'll put you in for it. I will be in touch. Okay, so you just set them aside and just know that you can run all of those parties at the same time. We're going to give you the outline. You're just going to be copying and pasting. Okay. Now you still have 11 people of your top 20. These 11 have not told you no twice. They're like, oh no, I can't have a party. I'm in the middle of moving, or my house is too small, or I got big dogs. I don't know, whatever. And then you say, how about a virtual party? And they're like, oh, I hate Facebook. Oh, I never use Facebook. I am so sorry. I'd love to help you, but yeah, I can't do a virtual party. And then you can say, if they say no to that, well, that's okay. Well, how about coming to my kickoff party on, tell them the date, with a couple of friends. My trainer tells me that will help me spread the word beyond my circle of family and friends right away. Now remember, at that party, you're going to be the host earning the free products and the consultant earning the commission. Sometimes when people start the business, they have a few duplicates of products because maybe they've been to a few parties, maybe you've even hosted a few times. And you're looking at your kit and you're like, gee, I'm going to have 2 or 3 duplicates. You could use 1 or 2 of those duplicates as raffles or drawings for your kickoff party. So you could say to them, hey, you know, I'm going to be raffling off a really cool product to celebrate the launch of my business. You'll get 1 ticket for attending, but you'll get 5 tickets for every adult friend you bring. What do you think? Now, if you don't have duplicates of products, remember that you're going to be the host earning the free products and the consultant getting the commission. And you could think about reserving a portion of your host rewards to pay for the raffle item. So it won't cost you anything out of pocket, but it can help you get more people through the door and more people through the door with friends. That's going to help you spread your business beyond your immediate circle. Statistically, like I said before, about a third of the local people you invite will be able to come. So if you've got 11, that's maybe about 4 more people who say, sure, I'll come to your kickoff party. That'd be great. And yeah, I can bring my mom and my sister, or I've got a coworker I know loves to cook. You know, I'll bring that person along. Which still leaves another 7 or so people. And, you know, if they say, oh gosh, geez, I'd love to, but I'm gone that day, I'm not available, you could say to them, well, that's okay. What about if I just gave you a catalog and an order form or 2? Would you be willing to just take it to work for a day or 2 to see if anybody you know needs anything? And you could add, if you collect enough in orders to make it a party, that's 200 in sales, you'll get free and discounted products. And if you don't, that's okay. You can still hand me the orders and I'll put it onto my kickoff party, and that'll be a help too. This is not a big favor to ask. They're going to work anyway. Usually about a half of the remaining people will say yes to that. So let's review. You're going to schedule your kickoff party. That's show number 1. You're going to create your who do you know list and pick your top 20. You're going to talk to your 2 kidney donors. They'll probably book for you. This is not a big favor to ask. Remember, you want to ask for the week following your kickoff party. And then you're going to contact the rest of your top 20. Statistically, about 3 will say yes to in-home parties. Statistically, 4 will say yes to virtual parties. 3 to 4 will say yes, they'll come to your kickoff party and they'll be great with you. They'll say, yeah, I'll invite a few people. And a few others are going to be running around with catalogs. Pretty amazing, huh? Do you think you're not going to get off to a strong start? Do you know that we have quite a few people that at their kickoff party have 1,000 or even hit their $1,250 in sales by the time their kickoff party's done? It's not uncommon at all. They earn commission, they earn their Pampered Chef dollars, they get their host rewards, they get their sign-on bonus, all one party from following this system. But that's just with your top 20. Now, after that, your next step is, now you're going to invite the world to your kickoff party. Pretty much open it up to everybody who eats. Don't prejudge. You're never going to hurt anybody's feelings by inviting them. Invite young and old, men and women, local and long distance, people who love to cook, people who hate to cook. Invite them all. Okay, don't prejudge. You can invite through Facebook. You can invite through text. You can invite through email. You can invite in person. You know, if you see people at your full-time job or whatever. Invite them all. Now, remember I told you only about 1/3 of the local people are going to be able to attend. Okay, so when someone responds that, I'm sorry, I can't come to your kickoff party, and there's going to be a lot of them, especially if you're over inviting, you can just text or message or say to them, sorry, like, hey, sorry you can't make it, but hey, how about having a party of your own on a day that works better for you? I promise it'll be fun for your friends. We can make something chocolate and laugh at all my mistakes, and you will earn free and discounted products. What do you think? Now, if you say this to all who cannot attend, you will probably line up 2 to 3 more parties before your kickoff happens. And then if you're over inviting and you've got a good sized crowd at your kickoff party, you will probably line up 2 more parties from the people who attend your kickoff show. I know, right? Is this kind of like amazing and mind-blowing? It should be. It should be. And because if you do that, honestly, you then ride the wave, because your calendar will already be what we call a self-sustaining calendar. Your calendar will fill itself from the parties you've got on the books. All of those people hosting parties are going to invite some people, some of whom you know and some of whom you don't know. And all of a sudden, your business is going to grow. Yep. So, but also consider, who do you know who would have fun at a business like this? Who would love to fill their kitchen full of free Pampered Chef products? Who could use extra income and flexibility? Who would be fun to work with? Usually by the time people are done, even just one party, they're usually amazed at how much money they earned, how much free product they've got, how many upcoming parties they have, how many people running around with catalogs. They're like, oh my goodness, I could quit right now and be way ahead of the game. And so usually people start thinking, oh my gosh, I know people who might really be good at this, or really need this, or really want this. Okay? And you can definitely invite them to learn more. Like I said, most people's first few team members are people they know. You can invite them to attend your kickoff party. Say, oh my gosh, I am so excited. I can't even believe the orders that I already have coming in. I haven't even had the party yet. I think this could be a great fit for you. Do you want to come maybe a few minutes early to the kickoff party, just so you can see behind the scenes what we do here? You could call up your trainer, your director, and say, hey, I've got some people I think would be good at this. How can we get some information to them? You can actually, share this recording with them, or you can schedule a 3-way coffee or conversation with your lead and your director. And we also have what's called the Think About It group on Facebook. It's for people who want to learn more about the business. We've got posts in there and all kinds of information, okay? So definitely be thinking along those lines. Now, as you're reaching out, and people, they're thinking about hosting, like they say, I'd love to, but, or you're reaching out to people to see if they'd like to learn more about the business, and they say, well, that sounds great, but I don't think I can, because people are going to have hesitations, they're going to have questions, or maybe you don't have a large enough circle of friends to get all the shows that you need from the strategy that I just shared with you. Well, you know what? That's okay. There's a solution for that. This is just the way that most people get started. All right? And the solution is keep in close contact with your director. Be like peanut butter and jelly. If you don't feel the urge to say, I am so sorry to bother you again, then you're probably not reaching out enough. Think about if you were starting a new job in an office, cubicles. Do you not think you'd be peeking over the top of the cubicle, asking questions here and there to the person next to you? Or do you not think you would have a trainer in the beginning who's there to show you the ropes? Well, guess what? The same is true here, but we're not in an office with cubicles, okay? But your director is never more than a text or a Facebook message or a phone call away. And we are here to help you, okay? And we have team Facebook groups where as support for where you're going to meet other team members, okay? So keep in close contact. Let your director know what you're hearing. You might hear a no because someone says, oh, I can't have a party because, and they give you a reason, and you're thinking, oh, that's a no. But if you tell your director about that, they could say, oh, you know what, we have a solution for that. How about reaching out to that person saying, hey, I was thinking about your situation, and I thought of an idea that could work for you. Have you ever considered a da-da-da-da-da-da? What do you think about that? And all of a sudden the person says, I had no idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, let's do that. And all of a sudden what you might have seen as a no is now a yes. As a trainer, I will tell you, I love to hear about the yeses that you get. But all I can do with that is go, yay! And I love to cheer. But what brings me the greatest joy and what I really love to do is help you move the ball forward. So we need to hear about the people who say, I can't because, or I'd love to, but. Let us know what you're hearing, because whatever you're hearing, we have heard before many, many, many times, and chances are there are solutions. I have a calendar full of bookings, okay? And I would say at least half of the people who have parties scheduled with me were people who thought they couldn't. I'd love to have a party, but I can't. And then I said, oh, really? Oh my gosh, why do you feel like you can't? And they tell me, and then I say, oh, well, you know what? Here's an idea for you. What do you think about that? And they're not booking because they're pressured. They're like, oh, wow, I never thought of that. That would be great. That would be wonderful. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Okay, so keep in close contact. And there's other training available. When you go on to Consultants Corner, there's a place called PCU, which is Pampered Chef University. And they'll take you through step by step, you know, everything you need to know about the business. There's recipes there, there's show outline, there's how to work with your host before the party to have a great turnout. There's when to set up your direct deposit and your payment order account. If you're not knowing what I'm talking about, don't worry about it because it's in the first few days and you'll see it there. There's also local sales meetings. Ask your director about what's near you, or team cooking nights. And then if you're part of the Batty organization, you are part of the Owl Dynasty, where we post about organization-wide training and things that we offer, much of which is online. And by the way, we always try to make it fun. One of the best things about this business is there's a lot of ways to make money. Most of them are not quite as fun as this. And I am all about fun, whether we're doing parties or doing trainings. Okay? All right. So that's it. That's your Strong Start call. And I would love for you to email me. If I am not your director, also CC your director. First, write Strong Start call in the subject line. And then let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful did you find this training? 1 means it was terrible, didn't help me at all. 10 means, oh my gosh, fabulous, my mind is blown. All right? And I would love to hear what was most helpful to you. And then I need to know, I'd love to hear, what do you feel like you need more information on right now? And then also let me know if you would like a copy of this PowerPoint. I'm happy to email it to you so that you can copy and paste the wording so you have it right on hand as you are reaching out. Okay, let me stop the screen share. So, congratulations. If you're excited and a little nervous, then guess what? You are just like virtually every other brand new consultant. Let your director know that you have listened to this call and try to schedule a time to talk with them if you haven't already in the next day or two so that you can get all your questions and things that need clarification. You can get that done and get the ball rolling. Okay? Grab a spoon.